Pregame.com.
Sunday, NFL action, the Houston Texans at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined with Steven Nova. We're going to break this game down. Steven, this is my video best bet of the week, so I'm going to go ahead and take the lead on this game, and we'll get your thoughts in a second. We are going 9-3 with the video best bets the last 12 weeks, so we want to keep this streak rolling along. Pure and simple, this is the injured player theory to start with. Houston, 2 weeks ago, Matt Schaub was out, Matt Leinart started. You've heard me talk about, the first game when an injured star is out, how the rest of the team rallies around and they get the job done. Well, they did that. They won the first game without Matt Schaub. Unfortunately, in that game, they lost Matt Leinart. So last week, we got injured player part 2. They had the same situation again. Now you're without your backup quarterback. They rallied around T.J. Yates. They got the job done. They won. This week, we're looking at it. They've won back-to-back weeks. Now they're going on the road, and people are going to look, and they're going to say, this team's okay. They won with Leinart starting. They won with Yates starting. The defense is playing well. They're going to look and say, Cincinnati last week was exposed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you really go inside that game last week, Pittsburgh played a great game, probably the best game that they've played all season. But they were helped a lot by Cincinnati in that game. Cincinnati went down the field, opening drive, scored a touchdown, play called back on a penalty. Then the drive stalled. They settled for a field goal. Steelers blocked the field goal. Steelers went down the field, scored a touchdown. Then they had a couple turnovers, got short fields, set up 2 more scores. Right before the half, Pittsburgh got a punt return for a touchdown. So if you look at the game last week, Pittsburgh had under 300 yards of offense, but it translated into 35 points. So if you just look at the scoreboard, you're going to say Cincinnati was blown out, which they were on the scoreboard. But inside the game, they really weren't. And this is a game Cincinnati needs to stay in the playoff race. They're basically out of the race for the AFC North, but they're still locked into the playoff race for the wild card. There's one wild card up for grab. Whoever wins the AFC North between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, the other one's going to get the other wild card spot. I think you'd agree with that. So there's one more wild card spot out there, and Cincy's trying to get it.
Yeah, all good points, Marco, and congratulations to you. Last week you had Baltimore to cover against Cleveland, which they did, and you're the man with the AFC North. You know these teams, and I can't disagree with you. Cincinnati is probably the right side here. If I can maybe play devil's advocate, though, and maybe try to present some points to the other side, because with a point spread, there's always the great equalizer. I would say Houston's the better team than Cincinnati. They play in a neutral field. Houston would, even with T.J. Yates. Would you agree there?
I'd probably make them, 1 or 2 point favorite, with T.J. If Matt Schaub was there, obviously a different story. But the jury's still out on T.J.H. because they really didn't do a lot with him. I mean, he's played 6 quarters of football so far. They've scored 17 points in 6 quarters.
Yeah, he played okay last week. He only made really one bad mistake, an interception that they brought back for a touchdown and then nullified it, which killed my over on that game. I actually like Yates better than Matt Leinart. Can't stand Matt Leinart. Can't not stand, Marco, these dink and dunkers, these game managers, these guys that won't even try to throw downfield. Yates will throw downfield. Unfortunately for Yates in Houston in this game, probably no Andre Johnson. Hurt his hamstring again. Not nearly as serious as he did earlier in the season, but they're probably going to not take any chances. They'll hold him out of this game. Houston's due to lose here. I think you got the right side with Cincinnati. 2 very strong defenses, but Cincinnati's got the better quarterback with the rookie Dalton. All the points you mentioned. So I think you're right on track here.
Well, one of the other points, with Andre Johnson being, hurt, and I agree with you, I don't believe he will play on Sunday. You take him out of the equation, now you've got a Cincinnati Bengal defense that can stack the line and try to stop Arian Foster. And when you had both threats, that helps a quarterback. I mean, if you got a strong running game, then the running game gets the passing game going, or vice versa, the passing game can get the running game going. You take one of the two key cogs out of the equation, it's going to make it tougher for Houston. And I think with Andre Johnson out of the lineup, Arian Foster is not going to run like he did last week. And Cincinnati is a good defense. They have played well this year defensively. You can't argue that.
Oh, no, both very good defenses here. And Yates really locked on to Andre Johnson. That was kind of his security blanket. And he threw to him a lot, even if he was covered. And Johnson made one big 50-yard catch where, he made the play. It wasn't Yates that really made it. But Yates, to his credit, at least would look downfield, unlike Leinart. So the only way Houston really wins this game, again, agreeing with your analysis that Cincinnati is going to try to key on Foster, is if Yates makes plays and wins the game. I can't really see that happening on the road like this.
I can't either. And one of the things last week, I mean, they made such an adjustment last week in the line that Houston, who is far and away a better team than the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, you would agree with that. They made Houston a home dog last week. They switched that around to Atlanta being a favorite because of the injuries. Now, because they won and because Cincinnati lost last week, you've got Cincinnati only laying 3 at home to Houston. It's wrong. And a little stat, and again, Houston, I don't think, even with Yates last week, shouldn't have actually been an underdog. At worst, the game should have been a pick'em. But the fact that they were an underdog, cute little stat with the Houston Texans. The last 12 times that they were a home underdog, that they won the game outright, the following week, they're only 10-2 against the spread. I mean, 2-10 against the spread.
Yeah, I've got them 2-5 the last 7 times they've been a dog overall, Houston.
So this is a team that I think they're ripe for the picking. This is a perfect spot for Cincinnati. I like to get teams, just like I did, last week with my video best bet when I had the Jets. I want a team when people don't want the team. That's when the value's there. And right now, nobody wants Cincinnati after last week. They come to play Sunday. I've got them winning by 10 points. We're going to make Cincinnati our video best bet, 23-13. As I said, we're 9-3 the last 12 weeks with the video best bet. So let's get it to 10-3 this week. And invite you to join me Sunday. We'll have a nice strong card on Sunday. We got it going big time last week in the football. 7-2 last week with my selections, and we had a huge day in the NFL. Our only loser last Sunday, Steven, and it's been one of my little nemesis teams, but I got T-bowed with Minnesota at the end. But fortunately, it was my smallest play. It was a single dime play on Sunday. We hit all the big ones. So join me on Sunday. Check it out on my homepage on Sunday. And we're going to be back with Steven's pick for this week in the NFL. And stay tuned. Oh, coupon. I'm sorry. Thanks, Dustin. Every week when we have our video best bet, we release a coupon that you can use to get $10 off. You can just go to the checkout. And this week, the coupon's going to be Bengals 10. That's the word Bengals and the number 10. You'll be able to get $10 off your shopping cart. If your item in the shopping cart's only $10, it's free on RJ, Steven. It's Christmas come early. But, RJ, he's
we all know how much RJ likes giving away stuff.
Yeah, that's like Ebenezer Scrooge. So take advantage of that coupon. Once again, it's Bengals 10. All right, thanks for watching. Now we'll be right back with Steven's video.